Okay.
Ooh, this is so lovely.
Welcome.
Oh, man.
Welcome to my studio.
Damn. Back to you in studio, Janet. This is so lovely.
Wow.
I love this.
So Joanne there's a time I was talking about different ideas for conversations you could have. And one of them was, who are you when the applause fades?
Right.
Yeah, and I thought that could be. But you might also have something that you think is on your mind that you think would be
No,
cool
I like
to banter.
that. I feel like that's very timely as
I
well.
know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think for me as well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think first, I'm starting to figure out that there's one thing that a tutor of mine told me. You need to stop paying attention to positive applause. Because then when the negative comments hit you, then you will not pay attention as well. Because what happens when you pay attention to, oh, Janet, you're so good, and you're like, oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
So the day I come and tell you, yeah,
You're not that
Janet,
great.
you're actually not that great, then that's gonna impact you equally. But when I'm like, oh, Janet, you're really good, and you're like, thanks, man.
Yeah.
That's great. It's not that you're shining away the compliments, but it's just that you need to know that you're enough. It can't come from outside.
Wow, I feel like she's just said it, preached to me. But then how do you reconcile the two? Because I'm sure it comes at a... Did you ever have a first hard kind of critique that made you rethink that? Or you're talking about for you it was a teacher?
Oh, I've always, first of all, my mom has always been the one for, if you do something good, well done, affirming me and stuff. And so I realized I hang on to it so much that now when I don't get it, I'm like, Connie, I'm not, okay, Connie, you don't like it. And I realize even on set, I'll be the actor who'll be like, asking the director constantly, was that okay? Did you like it? And it's just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Let's move on. And I'm like, does let's move on mean I did not do well? What does that mean? That said, I remember there's a time I did, it was my very first time directing, and I directed over Zoom. It was during COVID. And I was so sure of my project, and I didn't even second guess myself. And when it came out, I remember just someone like that I highly admire and respect, literally putting 3 laughing emojis of like, and at the time they didn't know me that well. Yeah. And I remember being crushed and just feeling, oh my God, I am a failure. What have I done? And then someone else put a comment saying, yeah, I don't understand why you started like this. I feel like probably you should have, yeah, because Kenyans, you guys don't need it. And I was just like, oh my God. And I think now in school, just having that comment, my teacher tell me, you need to disassociate from positive, like take them in, but don't hang on to the compliments. Just take it and be like, thanks.
Yeah.
That's great. You need to know you're enough.
You need to know you're enough.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's becoming more mainstream.
Yeah.
People are trying to, because we now know validation is fickle.
Yeah.
And sometimes, the next day it can be, we build you up, then we break you down.
Yep.
You've just reminded me, the first bulletin I had,
and
I can't even say which station. So the first bulletin I had at a certain station, a few years ago, one of the people again who we'd been watching and admired, this is me about to go to the set, right? This is my first time doing, and I'm in the makeup room. And she just came and dragged me for absolutely no reason, although I was told that's something she would do. She was just like, listen, over here, we don't speak the way you think that we like to. So if you're going to go there and represent this brand, this is a fellow anchor. This is not a manager. This is not a news editor. And this is a few minutes before I'm going live for my first bulletin on that station.
No.
But I had also spent enough time, I think, trying to pick up a broken part of myself. And in a sense, that was my saving grace. I was just like, okay, what you've said has fingered me, but I'm literally just trying to pick up and settle back into work. That became my saving grace. I had to almost say, this is another one of those times when somebody's going to dig into you. So just do what you need to do.
Right.
And that was, but I feel like then it just made me survive.
Yeah.
And I survived and survived. And the other day, I'm just like, you need to. I think in 2023, I just say to myself, you've been surviving so long even when you didn't need to. So when are you now going to start saying there's a balance between surviving and thriving? Where are you in that space of survival versus thriving?
I think I'm in the middle. I think I'm thriving in other areas. In other areas, I'm surviving. And it's so, honestly, adulting is the hardest thing
so
that I
hard.
thought.
I don't understand.
I remember there's a day I called my mom and I told her, you know what, I'm really sorry because it didn't hit me the kind of work that you did. At some point, my mom was working 2 jobs. She would still come home and cook. She would still be like present and be like, oh, how was your day? And at the time, I remember as a kid, because I was the last one, I'm like, yeah, mom, and then, hey, and then. And now
And she's
that I
like,
think about it, yeah, and she's like present. Now that I think about it, I'm like, when I get home, I'm tired. I just want to sleep. Like, I'm like, dear Lord, how do people do this? And mother, I mean, I don't know how you do it.
I don't know how we do it.
At what point are you in the surviving and thriving?
I don't know. And it goes back to that, who you are. And it feels like unless you ask yourself that question enough, then you're going to constantly be in a state of overwhelm. So I catch myself.
Okay.
When I see like I'm going down a certain path, so my body starts to react. I feel like I go to spaces and I'm anxious. So I'm like, okay, something is off. You're not aligned. Then I have to interrogate it. Sometimes it's many things at once, and there's not much I can do about all of them. So I say, okay, what is the one thing you can? Is it resting? Is it sleeping in on Saturday? Something tiny like that. Is it not being on social media for 6 hours on this particular day? Is it telling the team you'll respond to their messages the next day? What is it? Because I found like you actually have to. It's so easy to spiral.
It really is.
It's so easy to spiral.
It really is.
And it's that thing of, oh, I don't want to let people down. But who are you? And also they've switched off their lights and they're not applauding and they've gone home. When you're left with that, it's like, okay, who am I? And what do I need in this season of my life?
It's funny. The other day I was just asking on Instagram, are you keen on validation when it comes to awards? And a lot of people are like, yeah. And I remember at some point Mugambi has always preached this gospel of, soak it in that time, but also because at some point it will just fade away. And if you think about it, when you win an award, the next day or in 2 days, you have forgotten about it. The world has forgotten about it. Now it's like, when is your next production? Oh my God.
You're like, you can't even give me time.
You can't even give me time. And even for artists, the minute you finish a show, guys are like, so when is the next one? You're thinking, I've just spent 6.5 months or like a year preparing for this show. And so even for, especially actors after a show, there's this thing where just like post-show depression is real.
You just dip all those endorphins and everything. Just
you dip because you're coming from a place where every Monday to Friday you are going to rehearsal from like, I don't know, 9 to 5 p.m. and you've been doing that for a month. And now all of a sudden you have nowhere to go. There's a group of people you were used to and now you're not talking to them. And so even in terms of theater groups, I think there's been an ongoing conversation of how do we take care of actors afterwards, because you're just from last night 800 people were just, oh my God, you're the most amazing person. And then you go back to your house, you're thinking, I just
love how you're keeping it so real, because everything you're saying, I'm like, maybe this is why we were having this conversation, because I've thought about it. I remember telling someone, sometimes I think, so it's 2 things. One, when you've had a night or a moment that's amazing, I feel like it's important to regulate the next day, because if you try to carry on that high, you will dip. And I found that with me. Maybe I've moderated this big event, and like you, the next day I'm like, so now I still have to sort this thing with my kids. I still have to. So I say to myself, how are you going to regulate? Are you just going to throw yourself into some kind of routine? Even after a show, because now we do a daily show. I had to remind myself, remember what happens after a show, your energy dips.
Interesting.
So you almost have to. I love that as actors, you're now speaking about support. I think anything that's to do with live, high intensity, there needs to be post-care. Because something happens and regulating isn't that easy. And if you are predisposed to either severe anxiety or whatever, you can really dip. And I found that would happen with me. Like, I'm just feeling anxious. I'm not feeling centered. So I started asking myself, what is really important, Janet? Is it that you did the thing to your best of your ability, now you can move, or is it the applause? And then I saw this interaction between Jamie Foxx and Denzel, and I really liked the line when Jamie Foxx was asking him, but what do you mean? All these people who've got all these big followings, don't you think that's important? He said, no. As an actor, your brand is being good, not known. And I said, whatever he has said, I'm carrying it forward to everything. So it's, you're good. Being known will come with like, now you're known, Nyokabi nice is, Denise, everybody, you know?
Right.
But are you good?
At
Those
what
are
you do.
I was like, let me tell you, that is my mantra. So now when I started going into rooms, I started moving a bit differently. I'm like, are you giving it your best?
Right.
Because if you give it your best, it will come with a certain level of appreciation, validation, and referral.
Yeah.
Even if it's not super high, because you gave it your best, there'll be some response. And I remember taking that for the first time when I moderated something in 2023. I traveled.
Wow.
Who was that, Janet?
I love that.
And I was in Turkey. Doing an event.
I love that.
I have not since. I was just like, okay, you're good now. Let's be. I started getting mom guilt. So now I said, let me regulate. But that's what got me through those 3 days. Is I just kept saying to myself, no matter how much people are like, oh my gosh, you did so great and you're amazing. I just kept saying, okay, but you were good. Isn't that enough that you were good? Is all of this also necessary? I said, it's nice, but is it necessary? And I think that's helped. But it's not easy for artists and hosts. It's not that easy.
Right.
But I feel like I've tried as much as possible to just like, was I good at what I was supposed to do?
Yeah.
Beyond being known.
Right. I'm always saying your current job is the audition for your next job.
Oh wow, I love that.
As an actor,
I love
like whatever you're doing now, this is you auditioning. It's not being called for an audition. And it's the same thing with when you think about the big break. At some point, I genuinely believed in the big break. And every time I've thought that this is a big break, it has never been a big break. I remember in my very first professional production, I was doing Jesus Christ Superstar at Kenya National Theatre. And I was so excited. I'm with stars, Mkamze, Mwatela, Dana Seda, what, and me, and then there's me, you know? But then the performance was so good, so people started talking about me, and I was like, I'm about to blow up, so everybody please be ready. My phone, like I was almost...
Don't even be talking to me directly.
Listen,
talk to my person.
I'm gonna get somebody, because I'm about to get busy. So yeah, I'm there, like waiting for those calls. It's not even... I was ready. I knew Janet. Like I'm about to take over the scene. And then I waited. And then I waited. I waited again.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, but you know,
I'm gonna get my wrong number.
What the wrong number? You know, you even almost start calling people, and you know, after a show, everyone wants to. Hey, in your cafe, really, let's talk.
Let's talk.
Let's talk. I have a project. Let's talk.
What are you most excited about right now?
Ooh, in life or my project? Ooh.
Life and project.
Life, I think I'm getting to the point where I am genuinely giving myself that self-love. I know we say it all the time, but I think this year is when I've recognized, wait, I don't have to work on Sunday if I don't want to work on Sunday. I can sleep on Sunday and I can just relax. And you know what? I don't have to work on Tuesday as well because I was working on Monday and you know what? And I am giving myself permission to also just be by myself and enjoy my company. Literally go to a hotel and just work from there because I can and because I want to change environments and because I want to. And so I'm really enjoying that energy that I'm having around me at the time. And then we have a project called Index One, directed by Nice Givinji. I'm turning 10 years in the industry this year. Imagine, it's so crazy. Gosh. So I'm really, really excited for that. There's going to be music, acting, dancing. So I'm really excited to just be in that space of performance where I get to do different elements.
Happy 10th birthday.
Thank you.
Happy 10th month anniversary. And keep shining, and I can't wait for Index One.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. And the work that you do, we really, really appreciate, and we are just following behind you very slowly. Yeah,
even when I'm crying, even when I'm like,
especially when you're crying.
Especially when you're crying. It's official, Janet Mbugua and the amazing Nyokabi.
Thank you.